Hey guys, welcome to Nerdarchy, for Nerds by Nerds. I'm Ted, and today I'm hanging out with
Nathan Nerdark.
Eric's Dave.
And today we have another Hooked on Adventures when animals go wild.
Jump down in the description below where you can learn how to game with Nerdarchy. Also gain RPG tips right to your inbox.
Alright, so I got this concept after watching a movie recently. It's an older movie. And when animals, in the wild, they do their normal thing. But when they can go man-eater, it can make a serious problem for settlements and the like, especially if you're not behind walls and whatever have you. So in this movie, there were lions that were attacking villagers and people who were attempting to build a bridge. And I was thinking, all right, well, in a normal our world, that's a problem because lions are incredibly powerful and
they're smart.
And they're smart. But in a fantasy world, I was like, think of the possible motivations that could come up in this. All right.
I think in a fantasy world, they all start out as man-eaters anyway.
Yeah, especially squirrels. You encounter a lion in the woods. It tries to kill you.
You encounter a squirrel in the woods. It tries to kill you.
Well, you can completely go down that road, but for the most part...
No, look, man, I would take the squirrel any day, or the lion any day over those squirrels. We were playing in first edition, maybe second edition, and we were in a dark forest, and there was these flying squirrels that kept falling from the trees, and they actually had like a bloodletting attack where they would leech on you. And we got like 6 squirrels attached to you. You're rolling on the ground trying to get them off. You're stabbing yourself trying to pry a squirrel off you. It was a nightmare.
You find a mushroom in the wood. You try to kill it.
Dave
and eat it. It tries to kill you.
Dave still has memories of those squirrels to this day.
It's very traumatic, people.
Yeah. So basically, you got stacked on top of commoners getting killed by lions. You have, well, when the adventurers show up, wouldn't it be awesome if they were more terrible than just regular lions?
So I was looking at it as like, all right, what if we dialed this up? Okay, yes, you can absolutely keep this as a low-level encounter, and the party is just going after a lion or lions,
or tigers or bears.
Yeah, any actual animal.
What if you have a druid or a nature priest in the party and they just want to try and relocate it or something?
That's a whole nother level of complication. But speaking of druids, what if it's actually a wild-shaped animal a wild-shaped caster who doesn't want this village here or doesn't want them building the bridge. This is supposed to be his area. This is supposed to be a natural domain. And he's like, well, I don't care about these people. I'm going to kill them.
Well, I had another idea too. Like, what if it is a druid that wild shaped and he got stuck, right? And he kind of and the longer he stayed, he kind of reverted. Like, you could do things where they find like the den, where there's clues that something happened with this other person, this druid. They find possessions, they find belongings.
Maybe he had like a spirit of rage possess him or something.
Maybe even the townsfolk were kind of like, normally we would turn this over to Archibald, the druid, and he would help us with anything like this, but we haven't seen him in months.
Mysteriously disappeared. Bum, bum, bum.
Maybe, technically when you wild shape your stuff changes, but maybe you get close to the lion or whatever kind of beast you decide to use, and you see that it's actually wearing like an amulet or holy symbol of Sylvanus or some other nature deity,
right?
Yeah, like tangled into the fur.
And, so like
or maybe it's like maybe that the amulet is incorporated into the fur pattern.
Oh yeah, you could definitely.
So it's definitely shifted. There's definitely some kind of belt. There's some kind of amulet,
but it looks like
it's
fur stripe or something.
That'd be neat. So that'd be interesting. And then on a completely different direction, if you wanted to have it where you can always do demonic possession because demons like to kill things.
Well, and if you go that route, the interesting thing with that is I like the idea of demonic possessions in the sense, all right, first of all, if you want to, with this series, we want to give you guys a full adventure to take your players on, right? So if it's just an animal attacking, it's could almost be like an encounter, right? Unless you do some more interesting things and they have to do some problem solving. And I think by making it the druid, the trap druid or whatever, I think you get a little bit more of that.
Right, you get to go out, you get to explore, you get to find him, you get to figure out, well, how do we get him out of it?
Yeah, you got the mystery component.
Does it require, going and getting certain ingredients? Do you have to subdue this thing and then perform a ritual, or however you want to?
But no, like going with the other idea, like it's a possession, right? Demonic possession. All right, they find out, okay, there's this wolf, it's been terrorizing everybody. They put it down. Well, it doesn't end there. A bear shows up, afterwards, and maybe something in the forest or something that is acting as a conduit to bring these demonic creatures from the netherworlds, into this plane, but not their physical form, just their spirit form, and
right.
They're using it to possess different animals, and maybe with each time gets a little bit stronger, and more of them can come through.
Or when you go to kill it, like if you can get someone who's got a high perception check. It's like you almost see like something drifting off the body, so they begin to put together these clues of it's more than just the critter.
Yeah, if you have like detect magic or some other, or like again a really high perception check. So I was thinking with that mentality,
or you could totally like supernatural it, and it's just a big black cloud that shoots out of the thing.
Well, if you want to make it obscenely obvious, yeah.
With some of my players, yes, I do.
I don't think that's normal. Yeah, so you go back to the town, and then later that night, another one of the workers gets killed on this, bridge or whatever you're making, and you're like, I thought we took care of this problem. So you go back, and it's a bear this time. Well, then you kill the bear, and then you go back, and it's like, okay, we're done. This is definitely it. There's enough crazy animals. And
if the players still haven't figured it out, grab something that's not native to this area.
Yeah, and they can go back, and then like maybe some old man in the village is like, I told them not to go through the ancestral druid grove. There's some trees you just shouldn't cut down without bad stuff happening.
Or like a shrine. Maybe there's a shrine of Baphomet somewhere.
Yeah, like point them in, like. Here's the guy that's got an arrow pointing this way for them.
There are times that you need to just smack your players upside the face with the information that they're failing to see.
Yeah, well, then there's other times that it's not necessarily obscure, but they're taking it. They see something, they're taking it in a different direction.
Right.
So they're not seeing it the way that you need them to see it to kind of get the idea.
That's why I like knowledge checks that are kind of tiered as opposed to fail pass.
Right.
Because at least you can get, like, even on a bad roll, you can give them some information to work off
you can give them a sly suggestion that'll help.
Like, all right, well, you get a 15, you get one of the clues, you get a 20, you get 2, you get a 25, you get all 3.
Yeah, that's really too high if you really want people to know what's going on.
All right, my apologies. My character's really knowledgeable in your game. So.
I'm just thinking, like, from a 5 up. At 5, you start giving them information.
Yeah, 5, 10, 15, 20, and whatever. At
30, like, they know what the demon ate for breakfast. In the other world. So, yeah, feel free to steal this adventure hook to throw in your game. Let us know how you would do it different. We got a place for that down below. While you're at it, like, share, and subscribe.
You can tweet at us at Nerdarchy.
So check out Nerdarchy, the store, on nerdarchy.com.
So until next time, stay nerdy.